guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with my on-site versus off-site Disney planning video. So I have been to Disney World 5 times, it will be 6 times when I go this year, but out of those 5 times I've stayed off-site 4 times and on-site once, and last year was my only time staying on-site. So I think I have a good idea as to the pros and cons of staying on-site. I didn't have a massive say into where we were staying when I was younger, obviously because I was younger and I didn't plan the holidays, but as I've gotten older I've started getting into more of the holiday planning kind of things, and I love planning Disney holidays. They're so much fun. I'm going to get into the 3 options that I would consider when staying in Orlando when I want to go to Disney World, and I'm going to share with you both the pros and cons, and remember to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe if you're not already. So the 3 options that I see are staying on site at Disney or Universal, but I am going to talk about Disney specifically. Staying off-site at a hotel or staying off-site at a villa. And out of those 4 times that we've stayed off-site, we've either been in villas or apartment kind of complexes that are sort of like hotels. Another option as well is if you have family or friends that are in Orlando and will let you stay with you for free. That is a great option, but I'm sure most of us don't have that option given to us anyway. Well, I don't. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of staying on site. So first of all, the pros of staying on site, one of the biggest pros is transportation. If you do not have your own transportation in Orlando, it's so easy to get around Disney. And that's from like going to the parks, going to Disney Springs, other resorts, and even from the airport as well, because you get the Magical Express from Orlando International Airport, and it is completely free if you book to stay at a Disney hotel. So that can save a lot of money because it can get expensive finding your own way back from Orlando International. And the Disney buses generally come about every 20 minutes to and from parks and resorts, so it makes it super efficient to get to and from a place. You can go and come whenever you want. It's just so good. Sometimes you are waiting a bit longer. We waited about 40 minutes I think maximum last year, but that was only twice. We ended up having to get a taxi one time. But in general, the Disney buses are super efficient and they're really good. They're free, you don't have to pay to get on them. It's a great benefit from staying on Disney. And even if you're not staying at Disney, you can use the buses to get to and from one place. So they're free for everyone. However, if you do have a car and you're staying on Disney, you will also benefit from free parking at the parks, which, if you're paying for parking, the price can seriously rack up, so that is an incredible benefit. It's different for every country, but here in the UK, if you book early enough, you will benefit from getting a free dining plan. You will also get a free memory maker chucked in, a 14-day park ticket for the price of 7. I believe you get those last 2 things with any tickets, but I just thought I'd chuck them in anyway. But you will benefit from free dining and gift cards and things that will make you happy. So that is another great thing for staying at Disney. If you can get a free dining plan, that is all your food sorted. You never have to pay a single penny for your food in the parks, and it is incredible. Also, if you're staying on site at Disney, you can book your advanced dining reservations 180 days plus your first 10 days of your holiday. If you're staying off-site, you don't get that benefit. So it's great to make sure that you do get those hard to get reservations that a lot of people really want, like Be Our Guest and Cinderella's Royal Table. It's so useful. So you get that benefit of 10 extra days to book your ADRs. You also get the benefit of booking your fast passes 30 days before off-site guests. So it means that you can probably get the times that you want for your fast passes. It means that you can probably get the fast passes that you want. You can get like 7 Dwarfs and Frozen and all the really hard to get fast passes. Disney resorts are also incredibly themed. Every Disney resort is themed so differently and so incredibly to every other resort. It's like you've entered a completely new world, especially the deluxe resorts which we visited. It's so incredible and I just want to live in them. They are so beautiful. They usually have incredible restaurants, or if they're kind of value or moderate ones, they have better food courts and things like that. There's really cool pools, great amenities, usually loads of activities to do as well. They're really good. It's not just like you're staying at a hotel with nothing to do. They put on a lot. They want you to do a lot around the resort. It's incredible, but is it worth the hefty price tag? Because coming on to cons, Disney resorts are blooming expensive. And when I say expensive, they're expensive. Obviously Disney is going to be expensive. It is expensive. I would say the price of staying in a value resort is probably about the same as staying in an off-site hotel that's a bit more higher end, that you're going to get a nicer room, it's going to look nicer inside your room, but then you kind of don't get those amenities that you would get in Disney. So it's worth considering if that hefty price tag is really worth it, Disney. Obviously, if you do book early enough and you get the free dining plan, that for us is enough to persuade us, just that we don't have to buy food. But obviously consider the price because it's a lot of money. Along with that as well, Disney resorts, generally the rooms in comparison to what you're paying off-site are pretty small. You could get something much bigger for the same price off-site. So if space is a major factor for you, then maybe consider somewhere off-site, because I mean they're not tiny, it's not like you're there like with no room to breathe, but it's a room with a bathroom usually, and anything with like a 1-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, the prices go up. We did have a 2-bedroom apartment last year, we did get a good deal on it, and it was between 5 of us, so it wasn't too bad, but it can get really expensive when it kind of comes to that. So consider that as well. They're not the hugest, and you can get something for the same price that's massive off-site. So talking about staying off-site, if you are staying in an off-site hotel, there are so many pros and cons. Again, pros kind of the opposite to the Disney ones. Cheaper, so much cheaper. You are going to be spending a fraction of what you would spend at Disney probably, which I wish Disney wasn't so expensive. You can get massive rooms in hotels. I mean, you can get like little apartments in hotels that have like 2-3 bedrooms and they're a fraction of the price at Disney. They're massive, and that's great. And you could be closer to other attractions as well. Like you could be on International Drive, so you can have all of the kind of entertainment down there in the restaurants, and you could be nearer to Universal and SeaWorld if you want to do that, and just all those types of things. Some off-site hotels will also offer a shuttle. If you do not have your own transportation, this might be worth looking into if you're staying off-site. Some hotels will offer a shuttle to and from the parks. I've usually found that it's to and from Universal and to and from Epcot, and then you kind of have to make your way from there. These will have times though, so it will restrict what times you can go to and from the parks. And from what I found when looking at these 2 years ago, they weren't the times that I would really want to be going to and want to be coming back from parks. So keep that in mind. That is usually free. Sometimes hotels though do have, I forgot what it's called, but it's like an extra fee that you have to pay each day as well, and that kind of goes towards the cost of that trip, that shuttle. Also check that if you're staying in an off-site hotel, because some of them will charge an extra fee per day. But for us, I think that's another reason why we decide to stay on site, because then it means we don't have to rely on the times that the shuttle's set, and we can go to and from as we please. We can go back in the middle of the day and chill by the pool, and then we can go back to a park in the evening. Whereas if we were staying off-site, I feel like we would have to try and stay there all day and we would just tire ourselves out. But it depends what you like to do, and it depends how you like to structure your day as well. And as well, we can't drive in the US, so we couldn't take the benefit of getting a car and just going to and from as we please. But talking about driving, if you are staying off-site in a hotel or a villa, as I will mention in a second, you will have to pay for parking at Disney parks, at Universal parks. You will have to pay, and it's expensive unless you have an annual pass. Annual pass holders get free parking, I believe. But it's expensive. It's $20 per day. If you're going for 2 weeks, that's $280 if you were going to the parks every day. $280 to park at theme parks. That is insane to me. What? And obviously you'll have to factor in the cost of getting that car as well. Also as well, if you don't get free dining, you'll obviously need to factor in costs of buying food. You could be closer to more off-site kind of options though that are cheaper, which might be more beneficial for you. You might want to bring food into the parks, which will be cheaper. Disney don't really have restrictions on food and drinks that you can bring into the park, so it could be cheaper if you're staying off-site, but it can also rack up because food is expensive. When you're going out to buy food, to eat every day, it can get expensive. So just consider the cost of food as well if you don't book early enough to get free dining at Disney and you want to stay off-site. Obviously as well, fast passes you cannot book 60 days in advance. If you're staying off-site, you can only book 30 days in advance, which I wouldn't see as being a major problem unless you're going in really peak periods. It could be a major problem. When we went in 2014, we actually ended up booking our fast passes the day before our first day that we went to a park, and we got every single fast pass that we wanted. So it's still doable. You can still get the fast passes that you want, but it just might mean that you might not get the exact times you want, and you might possibly not get the fast passes you want. You probably won't get the really hard to get ones the later you leave it. You might still get it at the 30-day one, to be fair. But if you leave it really late, then you might not. Oh, and you'll also have to find your own way to your hotel as well from the airport, whether you're renting a car, whether you're getting a taxi. That's another cost to consider. And the final option that I'm going to talk about is off-site villas, and these are my favourite off-site option because they are massive. They are incredibly huge. Villas in Orlando are just big. I think all homes in America in comparison to the UK are big, but when we've been, we've got 3-4 bedroom villas with a private pool, massive space. Like, I could run from one end to another at full speed, and they're just huge. And they're a fraction of the price at Disney, which don't understand it. Obviously with off-site villas you're getting many of the pros and cons that you're getting in an off-site hotel, so I'm not really going to go through those too much. I'm just going to go through a couple of the other things that I thought about. And obviously if you are staying in a villa, you will have to get your own car, or you'll be depending on Ubers and taxis the entire trip. But obviously villas, yeah, they're generally larger than anything else you can get. They're generally much cheaper as well. You get your own pool, which is great, and they're also a great option as well if you have a larger group. Obviously, like I mentioned before, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, even 3 bedroom places at Disney, whew, they can get very expensive. So staying in a villa off-site, it's going to drastically reduce your costs. They're so much cheaper. 2-3 bedroom places at Disney, I'm saying they're really expensive when we stayed at one last year. We didn't pay a massive price tag for it last year, but it's still expensive. And the villas, even though we stayed at a 2 bedroom last year, a 2 bedroom villa that you could get off site would probably be about 3 times bigger than what we had at Disney. So you're getting a lot of space and you're getting a lot of privacy. You just kind of have to factor in, you're buying your own food, you're getting your own car, you have to pay for parking. Yeah, it's cheap to stay there, but it's expensive for all the other stuff. I think either way you're going to have pros and cons to staying either on-site or off-site, and you just kind of have to factor in which one is going to be better for you and your group, whether that's financially or just, I don't know, you want to stay in Disney and you like the Polynesian, so why not splash out a fair few £1,000? I'd love to do that. Obviously we all have different budgets, so it's just about factoring in what kind of works with your budget, what kind of works with your group. And yeah, sometimes staying off-site is the better option to staying on-site. It was for us when I was younger. It was a much more financially, I think, doable option for us, and it meant that we had a bit more freedom for what we want. Obviously with myself and Helen, it's just a much more doable option for us staying on site at Disney because we can get to and from places easily. Neither of us can rent a car over there just yet because you do have to be 25, or I believe you can be under 25, but then extra costs come in, extra fees, and we're not about them fees. And we could stay in an off-site hotel and use a shuttle, but we just don't want to rely on those times. And yeah, we like going to and from as we please. Like, if I was older and I had kids, then I would definitely consider staying off-site, probably in a villa. That would definitely be a big consideration for me. So I suppose it depends on your situation, on the group that you're going with, on your budget, on whether you want to be in the Disney bubble or not. There are so many different options for where you can stay. So just research, and you'll find something that works for you and that you like. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, thumbs up and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in my next Disney video, which is all about the Disney dining plan and also making reservations. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on my next one.